Hello, YouTube. It is Zector back with another Rocket League replay analysis video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how rotations don't exist in Rocket League. If you're new to my channel, I am Zector. I've been coaching professionally for up to a decade now, with a majority of my time being in Rocket League. I have close to 20,000 hours in this game, and if you're interested in coaching, look at my description, join my Discord, and go ahead and send me a message, and let's get something started. Yeah, let's get into this replay. All right, getting into this replay, we're loading in. We got the Falcons versus NRG. This is from the previous Worlds. We're going to look from Daniel's point of view. As I outlined in the intro, I'm going to be talking about how rotations don't exist in the game. This idea of first, second, and third man. Going to be talking a lot, going to be pausing a lot. You know, if you've watched my videos, you know the deal. Going to be speaking about a lot of stuff. But this is a very common gripe that I've had with the game. And I think, you know, ever since Greg and back, like I think 8 years ago, did Tabletop Tactics, which was just essentially him outlining rotations in the game and how there was a first man, a second man, and a third man, and the loose responsibilities that each had. But the problem is, and this is one of the biggest reasons I want to talk about it, even if we look at how the game has evolved and how players have started to play, we can't really stick closely to that model anymore. And the reason is because it was never sustainable to begin with, right? And I'm going to outline kind of how things are, how we should look at the game, a way better alternative than looking at the game as first, second, and third man. But anyway, let's get into this. We're gonna do some breakdown of gameplay as well. But let me stop fucking talking real quick. Anyway, immediately right off rip, we have Daniel marking Rawas here. A lot of players in this situation would say that Daniel is the first man, but this doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, why does this not make any sense? Because Daniel's not actually first man here, right? And the whole idea behind first, second, and third man was based off of positional variables. Like, this player is first here, so therefore he is going to go for the ball. But that doesn't really make any sense calling it first man if he's not actually first man in this situation. He's actually considered third man in this situation, because Atomic hasn't finished his pathing back and Beast Mode hasn't finished his pathing back. So how do we look at this instead? Like, when we say first man, some people may be confused in this situation, and if they're not confused, I think that's a further testament to exactly what I'm talking about, where we just need to drop these terms completely, just get rid of them. In this situation, why can Daniel go for the ball? Well, it's not because he's first man. It's not because he's third man either. It's because he's in a position where the options allow for it. This game is all based around options, not rotations. Everything is options. You're covering options. You're seeing what options you have based on the situation. So in this situation, why can Daniel go up? Well, Daniel can go up because, one, he has a good amount of boost. He has some space before Rawas gets over in this area here. He knows that he has a teammate coming back here, and he knows he has a teammate coming back here. So that allows him to go. But that has not shit to do with first man or anything, and more so what the situation allows him to do, right? So we're going to see him go up for this. And by the way, I actually don't like this challenge. I don't like this challenge at all. And I'll explain why, of course. But in this situation, some players, this is also a really awful misconception in the game. I'm not saying that Daniel subscribes to this misconception by any means, but it's very commonly perpetrated through like all ranges of the game. But in this situation, some players believe that this is forcing, that we're forcing Rawas to do something. If we are forcing, and we're going by the common definition of forcing, why would we do that here, right? Some players, they don't know why they're forcing. They don't know why they're jumping. We're just like, I'm going to get in Rawas's way. But for what reason? Rawas has no close support here. Daniel has advantage. And what gives Daniel advantage? Daniel has advantage because he has boost advantage in this situation, right? Rawas has to expend resources in order to sustain this mechanical play. He has Atomic back as well, which also has full boost, so he has further advantage there. The specific advantage from Atomic being back here is not only his boost amount, but the fact that he can cover both the high options and the low options immediately right now. So even by the common definition of forcing, there's no point in doing so here. But if we just look past that definition, there's no point to jump here to begin with. Rawas isn't threatening in this situation. Rawas isn't doing anything in this situation. Rawas is just expending boosts. And if we look at Rawas and we look at his POV, he's going to do a mechanical play regardless of Daniel's involvement or not. We can see how much advantage Rawas has here. The most he's going to be able to do is just take it closer to the backboard. If Daniel would have even delayed his challenge just by an extra second, that would have been a significantly better challenge than this one, because Rawas can't do anything now. But if Daniel ends up jumping, he actually gives Rawas the option of an outplay, which is not ideal, right? And we can see, like, and then we sent everyone for that, which was also bad. We sent everyone for this. So let's continue. Let's go into this, right? Beast mode comes back in this situation. This is I think beast mode is just a little, I'm pretty sure this is the last game in the series, so we're going to keep in mind that there's definitely some like pressure in this, right? So I can understand that. I'm saying this with the knowledge of that in mind, just so everyone's aware. This could just be pure tunnel vision based off of just the pressure of the match, but we're not paying attention to Atomic's positioning. Atomic already finished his pathing back. Atomic already has those high options. Ideally, what happens here, right, is beast mode plays low, Atomic plays this immediate option, and then beast mode can clean up whatever happens after. And we can see if we kept that, we would still have beast mode right here, which could then immediately go for the ball. Because that's not the case, they end up getting scored on. Very easy mistake to make, right? But it's like all we had to do in this situation is just understand options. Once again, see, like, let's talk about the first, second, and third man shit here, right? Which is honestly a way more confusing way to look at the game when you really think about it. In this situation, I want you guys to tell me who's first man here. Who's first man? Is it beast mode or Atomic? And if it's beast mode, why is it beast mode? If it's Atomic, why is it Atomic? Because technically beast mode has beast mode could go for this, right? But Atomic could also go for this. So the question is, who goes for it at that point? If we can't easily determine between who's first and like second man here, the system is just flawed. Like there's no firm like global understanding of like, oh, this is exactly what happens here, right? Now, why is that? Because using these terms doesn't really tell you anything, right? But what does tell you something? Just paying attention to options. What options does Atomic have here? He has the option of immediately going for the ball from a heightened altitude, which beast mode does not have. So Atomic already has advantage in a situation like this. Atomic can also jump down and deal with goal options. So Atomic has the easiest accessible high option here, which is why he should go and not beast mode, right? So once again, I think beast mode is just a little panicky. Maybe he saw the bump coming out, and so he wanted to jump as well to cover it, but I feel like that was an overcompensation. We should have just trusted Atomic's ability to be able to get the touch, and if something went wrong, we just needed to play it after. That's the most plausible reason I could assume like beast mode would jump for that. But even then, it is so reliant on their play working out, and it's like if that doesn't work out, you're completely fucked, as we saw, right? So a lot of stuff to keep in mind, but let's continue. Okay, Atomic going for bang out. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, just not identifying players' positions on the field. So in this situation, we know Rawas is still active. I mean, Rawas did get that touch, but it wasn't a really boost dependent touch. Like, he didn't have to commit like a lot of boost here. He just got to bang out, which means he's still going to be able to sustain in this area. It isn't as if he has no boost. It isn't as if he needs to leave. So in this situation, what we first should have done before we jumped for this is confirmed Rawas's positioning using our camera, looking. That would have led to making a better informed decision here. And if we had that information, I know for a fact beast mode doesn't jump. Like, if beast mode has that info that Rawas is there, he doesn't go 100%, because it's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense. Rawas is always going to beat beast mode to this. Like, beast mode's never winning that, right? So once again, just didn't have that information. I do like the idea from Atomic in beast mode, but I do think they were trying to force it. It wasn't something that was gonna really be fluid in the play. Like, they had to force that play and hope that somebody on the other team made a mistake. I mean, it was a play really reliant on the fact that Rawas wasn't going to zone the area, but it also doesn't make sense because why wouldn't Rawas zone the area? He has sufficient amounts of boost. There was sufficient amounts of space that allowed him to position in the way he did. So it was a little greedy. And Falcons is really good at taking advantage of shit like that. Let's look at TRK, because I did see him seemingly start a challenge and then stop. But this is way better, right? He notices Daniel, right? Now, arguably, he could have noticed Daniel a little sooner. Once again, Daniel in this situation, Daniel's not doing anything. In this period of time, even when we're watching our teammate, like he's watching Rawas here, we need to be keeping in mind the next available player, which in this situation, it's actually not going to be Beast Mode. It's going to be Daniel, right? Daniel is going to be the next player in this situation. Now, when people look at like first, second, and third man, right? Let's tie this in because it's the general theme I'm trying to make the video. But in this situation, I'm assuming people think that Atomic was first man, and now Beast Mode is second man, but Beast Mode is doing a first man's responsibility. Beast Mode is getting active on the ball. He's jumping for the ball. He's trying to get something off of it. This is no longer just a pure support option. He's literally trying to do more offense from this option, not simply clean up from Atomic, right? So keeping that in mind, it's like, is Beast Mode a first or a second man here? Is he playing a second man support role by just trying to get the touch, or is he playing a first man role in the sense that he wants to create more offense, right? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's super confusing. So rather than thinking of it like that, why can't we just think, okay, Beast Mode has the next available options on the ball? There we go. What's the point in using first or second? Literally, what is the fucking point of saying any of those terms in the Big 25? Like, there's no point. Like, you can literally sum up all of that shit and, okay, what can Beast Mode do and what can Rawas do? That's literally it. Once you understand that, there's no point in using these terminologies. They're fucking dead. We need to get rid of them, okay? Because they don't help anyone. I've coached thousands of people, right? You know, this information doesn't just, like, I didn't just wake up one day like, oh, for a second, I want to be quirky. I want to be quirky and just go against the system, fuck society, or some fucking shit, right? Like, I've coached thousands of people. I can't tell you how many times I hear people just openly confused about this. Like, they just have no idea what they're doing in a play because they can't even determine their role in it, right? But the thing is, fuck all the role shit. Fuck all of that. Anyone that says any of that shit, immediately look at them a little questionably. And if they do say shit like that, I want you to get them to explain it, right? Like from the root of the thought process. But in this situation, just why not just look at who has options here? Who is available to do what and why? That's literally it. It's just following the logic of the game. In this situation, some people maybe be like, oh, Atomic is third man. Atomic is third man here, and therefore he should play defense. That's so fucking stupid. You know why? Because we're purposely taking a player out of a position to do offensive options. What should we do instead in this situation? Atomic doesn't need to immediately play defensive options. That's just how it is sometimes because his teammates aren't able to play. And therefore, he's going to be more prone to playing defensive, but that doesn't mean that's what he needs to do. That doesn't mean that's all he does. That doesn't mean that he only needs to overvalue the defensive options and say, fuck the offensive. No. In this situation, what could have happened? Atomic could have started this path slower and just zoned this area. And if we did, we would be closer to this area. But because we overvalued defensive options, and granted, maybe he thought it was going to be banged out this way, but it's like, since we overvalued the defensive, we're actually significantly further away from the play. And now, wow, look at this. Wow, you know, it's kind of crazy. So Atomic initially was playing this thinking, this is me. Right, this is me. I just haven't gone yet. You know, I'm playing third, and then I'm coming into first because that's a rotation. And now Atomic feels obliged to go because of that lack of action that he did over here, and he did this path instead, and he ends up conflicting with Daniel, which is just really bad. So what should have Atomic done instead, you may be asking, right? Of course, I'm going to tell you, right? So in this situation, firstly, we need to be aware of our teammate, right? In this situation, I don't think Atomic really noticed the boost. Now, once again, this could definitely be pressure. But this is exactly why this system is so fucked, because when everything starts breaking down and you're relying purely on your foundation, your pure instinctual, like intuitive feel of the game, we get into situations like this, right? Which is not ideal. This is not what we want, of course, right? So we didn't notice Daniel pick up the boost here, so we're just doing a quote-unquote cut. We're cutting the rotation, so to speak. But That wasn't necessary at all. Now, how do we get out of this? We just identify, where is my teammate? How much boost does he have? Can he go for this? Right now, even if Atomic goes really quick to this, we still need to play a little bit of pacing for beast mode. Beast mode's not even fully into the play yet, so Daniel and Atomic can start this play, but what typically happens is Daniel and Atomic start this play, they do something here, but since one player has a lot more boost, that player can typically sustain a little bit longer than this team, because if you add up their amount of boost, these guys' amount of boost is going to be more than theirs, especially when Rawas ends up refilling a little bit, right? So what typically happens is these two do a play, either the play goes well or it doesn't go well, and if it doesn't go well, we have beast mode coming into the play with full boost, pretty much unable to do anything, because you create this cycle where you're just sitting two players, and those two players have no boost, and now one player needs to play pacing, which is not an inherently bad thing. That's a very common stay in gameplay. Like, it happens a good amount, but we would rather avoid that, right? We want to have as much of our structure as firm as possible as soon as possible, which requires playing pacing, which I talk about in a lot of my videos. Not bad by Daniel. I like that cut there. That's definitely good. Beast mode in this situation. Right. The first man here. Oh my fucking god. My goat. Dude, beast mode's so fucking good though. This guy is so good. That was such a brilliant shot, but you know, I'm a hater, so I have to look at why that shot was even all that, because it wasn't just a pure like outplay shot. You know, Falcons made a mistake here, so I don't disagree with this. You know, he was just covering the low option, which is like, okay, like this is pretty sensible. He wants to play in case beast mode plays like a fake here, and that would be like pretty threatening. Like, you know, we want to typically force players high, so Rawas is actually doing something good here. At this point, it's really tough for killers in this situation. Oh, okay, never mind. He played high. So he actually made things a lot more awkward on him because he was also cycling high, right? What would have been better here is to just play the shot, or not play so high and or play a little bit closer. Yeah, no, it's just unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I will say it is really close though. It would have just been hard for killers to do much there. I mean, even if he does go low, he still has to predict it, but I would argue that he would have an easier time predicting it from low, considering how slow beast mode was going. So this shot is typically also going to be a bit slow. It's just how momentum works. So yeah, pretty good by Daniel. I like this. Daniel's just going to play 50 here, which is a brilliant decision. I love how Daniel plays. Daniel's definitely one of my favorite players. And I don't often really like a lot of players in the game, but the way Daniel plays, it's good. It's good. I love how Daniel plays. So in this situation, I'm assuming people think Atomic is first man and then Daniel is like second, but Beast Mode could also play that second role. Like, both of them could play options in this situation. So it's like, once again, there's just no point in even thinking about the game like that. Like, I can't comprehend why people would. So in this situation, who else is gonna go for this but Atomic? Why is Atomic going for this? It's not because he's first man. That's not why he's going for this. He's going for this because he's the main player with the option to do so, and therefore he's going for it. Of course, who else would do it? Right? In this situation, why think of Daniel as a second man or a third man? Neither one of those fucking matter. Let's talk about what Daniel can actually do. I feel like us using these terms have just made it easier for people to just be lazy. Okay, go look at many other fucking games. Go look at CS. Go look at Overwatch. Go look at League. Go look at Valorant. Go look at literally any game. How many players in that game do you see that just kind of sit behind terms and they just don't talk about like the actual macro of the game, like what's actually going on? Like, I can't, like, in first, it's like, yeah, first goes for the ball. That doesn't teach anyone anything. What do you learn from that? You don't learn shit from that. But what you do, how you can learn is, instead of telling people, oh, play first man, second man, and third man, how about you tell people what to identify that tells them whether they should go or not go? Why are we not doing that as a community? Why have I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm trying not to make this into a rant video, but this is definitely bothersome because I hear it so often. In this situation, a Daniel can either play the low options or the high options. Fuck whether he's second man or third man. Like, let's talk about what he can do. He can go ground there and play low. He is on backboard / connector, so he's able to play options high. Right? Let's just call it what it is. And in beast mode in this, beast mode in this situation, he's not more prone to playing like defensive options here. We can actually see him playing the outlet here, right? But if we can sit, like, when do we make that switch where, oh yeah, Daniel's no longer the second man, now he's, you know, now he's the third man, dude. He was actually the third man to begin. Like, it's just so confusing. It just literally, it's nonsensical to think of the game that way. I like how Falcons played this. I talk about this a lot, but if a player is committing boosts like this, that does not mean that you should go. Some people don't know when to challenge, okay? You don't need to challenge a player like this. Look at this. You know what killers TRK are doing? They're just zoning, waiting for him to use boost, and then he lands with no boost, and then what can he do? Nothing. And then look at this. Now TRK can immediately find that pocket there and be able to keep them on their side, and now they're going to continue going for a play. Oh, really unfortunate. Didn't get the 50. The 50 would have been solid there because Rawas would have been able to play off of that way easier than this. But this is going over to Daniel here. So Daniel's going to take the boost. Oh, Daniel's just going for a quick play. Okay. Hey. That was pretty proper. We'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, yeah. Playing, like, yeah, no. Letting beast mode just use that boost is so important. Daniel made a pivotal decision. Yeah, damn. That's really unfortunate. I just ran out of boost just slightly. But yeah, no. Daniel's decision to say, and the reason, so let's talk about this. Why did Daniel not go for the boost? Well, it seems pretty obvious now, right? But the reason that Daniel doesn't go for the boost is because he has a teammate with an option. He actually has two teammates coming up with options. So we need to value getting a goal here more than we need to value sustain, because why sustain in this play when we can finish it, right? Why sustain in a play? Why have more boost to sustain in a play when you can just finish the play and then reset? You know, that's what Daniel is doing here, and it's a really good decision. Really nice drop off to Atomic, and a great shot from Atomic as well. Both, that was really well played. I like that a lot. But let's continue. I hope y'all's day is going well. It's like 7 in the morning for me. Got me a thick cup of coffee. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh no, this is not working out. I already knew that wasn't gonna work out. Right now, why is this not working out? Well, we talked about earlier, Rawas just has advantage. This is a situation in where you say, you know what? I'm really beat here. Let me not use extra amounts of my resources and my positioning and commit to the ball and just get the fuck out, right? Now, what would that have achieved here? So firstly, Atomic would have saved significantly more boost by just going out. If he wants to go for off-ball value here, he can do that at this point. If he wants to go for TRK at this point, he could do that. Either one of those options are significantly better than jumping for something where Rawas has advantage. And now, you know, Atomic actually gave the other team more resources. So instead of a TRK being dead or pressured right now, instead of a Killers being dead or pressured right now, instead of having Atomic that's able to zone this area right now while Beast Mode plays here and Daniel plays like here, you know, that's just not happening. So Atomic wasted all of his value in that play, and now he has even like less value, right? Because he doesn't even have boost to sustain in the play anymore because he used it jumping for something that wasn't likely to begin with. And now he's pretty much out of the play, right? Which is why now he has to rely on this boost route. He still is struggling to get boost. He's not going to be able to confirm that full, and he still has nothing now. And now the overall boost of economy of like NRG is just shit right now. All right, like it's just kind of ruined. Really good positioning by Atomic here. I like this positioning. You know, all of you lower ranks, pay attention. This is one of the most common fucking reasons. You do not have to be up your teammates' ass when they have the ball. You don't have to be right next to them, like parallel, okay? You should only do that when it's warranted in the play, but oftentimes players on the other team are going to have those lanes marked. Like those little ground lanes, like they're going to be sitting in the middle of them. It's just oftentimes a bad fucking decision. So instead, and this is not a general rule, you shouldn't always just be playing behind your teammate, because I've heard that shit too. That shit's stupid as well. Okay, there's no general shit in this game. If you've ever heard anyone say any generalized terms, most of them are just complete and utter bullshit that come from a period period in time and where most people could barely aerial for the ball. Like, this isn't 2016, 27. I have to say that like every fucking video, right? In this situation, Atomic needs to simply play only based off of what's going on in the play. So we have to ask ourselves, right? This is the ultimate question. This is what tells you whether you can do that or not. Okay. In this situation, what can beast mode do? Not really shit. At most, he's going to be catching up to the ball and pay the 50, which is why Atomic, now we can push back. Now, why are we pushing back? Because Rawas has the next options on the play and not beast mode. But what if beast mode was closer? That means Atomic can play closer, because that means there's a potential like 50 that could come out this way in which he could get. But in this situation, this player has advantage and therefore has these options. What options does Rawas have? He has a forward option where he can pop the ball this way or bang the ball this way. He has the side option, which goes to killers over here, so he's going to play through mid. Atomic is playing that option. That's all it is. That's all it is. There is no Atomic's first man now, so he can go for the ball. Like, that's not even necessarily true. He may not even be able to go for this truly, because killers is right there, right? So it's like, instead, let's focus on what can this player do, what can I do. It's that fucking easy, right? But on top of that, it actually tells you what you should be doing. Wow, that was a really good touch. I honestly did not expect him to get that touch. I saw this and I was like, shit. Well, I mean, he pulled it off. I'll give him his credit. This is good. I like this. I was not really the best by beast mode. Now Daniel's going to be more prone to playing defensive. I already know. I literally already know. Like, Daniel's not doing shit here. Now, how did I fucking know that? Holy shit, Zector, how did you know? Wow, dude. You know, it's like, dude, because beast mode, I mean, even if beast mode gets something here, it's like, we're never getting anything here. Daniel is never in his life jumping in for this, even if beast mode gets something. It is so risky, and they're already up by 1. It makes no sense to do something so risky. Now, what could beast mode have done instead, right, is the question. What could have beast mode done instead? So once again, we have to talk about options. In this situation, beast mode needs to know where the other players are. This is what beast mode needs to be seeing. Rawas, right? Where is Rawas? How's he positioned? Is he facing forward? Is he facing backward? Is he already backboard? Is he moving up connector to backboard? Important information. We don't have that info. Beast mode in this situation is just saying, you pass, I'm going to jump. I don't give a fuck about who's there. I don't care where they are. I'm just going to jump and hope to God I'm quicker. But this is what happens. Nothing. We get nothing. Right? So instead of this, what we should do is be like, wow, that touch is a bit far. Let me slow down, right? Because Rawas is going to be able to play this. And let me make sure there's no back pressure, right? So we slow down. We look behind us, rear view. And interestingly enough, we have another player in this play that can actually do something, whether that's zoning this area immediately, going here immediately, or going up. We're able to do that. Now, some people, they have qualms with playing slow in this game. If you have qualms with that, you are genuinely brain dead. Okay, but let me explain why. This game is like, you don't just play a regular game of chess and you're just trying to go as quick as possible. I need to go really fast, because really fast means pressure. If I go really fast, I give pressure. It's like, in some regard, yes, in some regard, but that's not what truly constitutes pressure, right? So in this situation, if we just go really fast and we're just like, Zector, we need to have really fast plays because it's a lot of pressure. What pressure did beast mode generate by doing this? We actually lost pressure because NRG can't do anything. What pressure do you have? Like, what pressure as a team, if the other team can't do it, like, what pressure does Killers have here? What pressure? Oh, well, that was not an ideal touch. But my point is, like, what pressure is there in this? Look at that. Completely free space. He's just sitting here chilling. Still sitting here chilling. They're just keeping their boost up. Immediately go for, like, you know what I mean? We had a player that wasn't able to do anything. And then where'd that pressure go? Where's all that pressure at? All right. Where'd it go? It's just gone. Why? Because it was never truly pressure to begin with. Right? So let's go back into the situation a little bit. But like I said, going slower creates options in chess, right? Simply moving your pawn forward does not mean you're making pressure. Putting your pieces in the right places in where you have advantage over your opponent. You have to make them think. You have to make them be like, oh shit, right? That's pressure in this game. So actually slowing down would have brought us more pressure due to the more options that we had in the situation. And what options are there? There's the option, like, so let's say Rawas, like say this goes straight up here. Beast Mode has the option of going forward. Let's say Rawas offset it to corner. Beast Mode can immediately zone corner. Let's say that Rawas, I don't know, I mean, literally anything. All of it is covered right here. Like, what can Rawas do that Beast Mode can't cover from right here? Virtually nothing, right? And so because of that, we're going to be able to have pressure because we have a player that can immediately go for the ball and now play pacing and let like Atomic get out a little bit more and get boost, while we have Daniel that can play a play with Beast Mode. But instead Daniel can't get in here because Beast Mode doesn't have any boost, because Beast Mode jumped and Beast Mode doesn't have a turn and Beast Mode's facing this way, so Beast Mode can't go this way because he doesn't have the option to go this way, and therefore he has to get out, probably by a lane because of Atomic. And if not a lane, then like Beast Mode's gonna go further back while Atomic takes this boost and go mid. Let's check this out. Beast Mode said fucking and went for the mid boost, which is honestly like a better play. I won't lie. He could have zoned, like he could have went for the boost lane. I was assuming that he was going to do some sustain, but I mean, this is a great play as well, so there's nothing wrong with that. Cool. See what's oh, nice. I like this. Oh yeah, I like that. That was steezy. That was nice. I like what Atomic's going for there. Immediately playing a little bit slow, but oh, look at that fucking, oh, please, Beast Mode, please, brother. I do like that, but you know, like I said, we weren't able to get anything more. So in this situation, I'm fighting for that was, yeah, nah. In this situation, once again, we got to see this and we just got to fucking leave it. Truly. Like, you just got to cut your losses and just immediately look for boost this way. Surprisingly, if we would have done that, you can see it's like we would have been able to do something here 100%. But fighting for this, it's like it was very, like Beast Mode like knew that it wasn't very clear what was going to happen here. So that's what led to that to begin with. But that's okay. Let us continue. Nice. I like that touch immediately. Oh, what's going on over here? Cool. Nothing wrong with all that. See, I like speed there, but notice it's dynamic. I like speed into the play because that makes sense right here, right? We want to create options from all the way back here. We can't do shit. We don't want to slow back here. That's fucking stupid. It's stupid because we're not going to be able to get into any options up here. So what we do is we go real fast until we get those options, and then we do a slow so that we can keep those options open and we're not hard committed to one of them. And then we can just zone this area, which is great. That's exactly how speed should be played in this game, right? It's a varying thing. It's not just always play fast. Some people ask me, like, Zector, how do I become faster? Well, that's such a loaded question in this game, because some people are slow because they don't disengage. So they just continue sticking in the play, and therefore they're slower to everything else. Or they engage too much, so they're actually slower. They're using significantly more boost, which means they have significantly less options. Like when you have no boost, you can do virtually nothing. Like virtually nothing. Like there's obviously things that you can do in given situations, but we're not talking about that. Or it's like mechanically you're just slow, which is a whole other thing in and of itself, where it's like you're not even meeting the bare minimum of speed to execute the play. Because there's a, like, if you're saying like, Zector, how do I get faster because I can't meet the required execution in this specific situation, that's a completely different thing than just saying like, can I just be fast overall? Like, how do I be faster? And people think like just getting more mechanics means you're just faster. Like, no, not if you execute those mechanics in the wrong situations, in the wrong ways. It just doesn't make sense. Oh, beautiful arrow. I love that. It's not unnecessary, not too much. You know, I speak about arrow a lot. In this situation, I love this, right? It's all justified. Coming forward, want to play that immediate play. We do this turn here, really create a wall for ourselves, set up a really solid 50. I love it. I eat that shit up. That's how arrow should look. If you're air rolling all random and shit, please cut that shit out. Like, just for your own sake. You know, while I'm doing this video, I was gonna make a whole, I'm still gonna make a whole video on air roll, but and I've spoke about this in other videos, but air roll comes from a time in the game where it was cool. And why was it cool? Because it was harder. Right, that's literally why people were doing it, was because air rolling made it harder and therefore it looked cooler. Okay, like Are we hearing it, right? It makes it harder. Like, that's literally why people did it, right? So what is the point? And like, if you're saying, I want to improve, I want to get good at the game, why are you making shit harder on yourself? Why? Why are you doing that? That makes no fucking sense. Get rid of the unnecessary air roll. If you're just doing spins for no fucking reason, I'm sorry, at least in my eyes, you just look inefficient. You just don't look good. You look messy. You look old. You look like a brick. You don't want to look like that. None of you guys want to look like that, especially not you guys in my community. You guys are nice Chad individuals in my community. You know what I mean? Y'all are cool. So start acting like it, right? Like, what are we doing? We're not lame. Anyway, let's talk about some of this. I mean, most of this is just kind of like there's not really much to talk about. I like Beast Mode's patience up here. This is really good. I like this patience. Right here, once again, we're just playing options. We ask ourselves who's first, second, or third here. Does it even fucking matter? Who can play on the ball right now? Beast Mode, right? Does that mean Beast Mode is first, man? That doesn't even make any fucking sense unless we're looking at the field this way, but that's not how you look at it. So it's just like, it's stupid. Cut the shit out, okay? Beast Mode can play on this because Beast Mode has the options to do so. Atomic is able to also play on this. So technically Atomic has the same, like, not the same options as Beast Mode. That'd be ridiculous. Beast Mode has, like I said earlier, higher accessibility to the higher options, and therefore he's going to be a priority in going for the higher options, but that does not mean that he is a first man, right? That's stupid. And if someone's saying, oh, but Beast Mode is first man because he's playing defensive options, that's not true, because a first man can play defensive options. A second man can play defensive options. With the third man in the play does not mean that's the only person playing defensive options. You can be a first man going for someone that has the ball, right? So you're first man in the situation, and you can still turn off and or zone it and not immediately go, right? Like, which means you're playing defensive options because there's no offensive options that you can immediately go for, or there's no easy disruption that you can immediately go for. So just once again, I mean, I think most of you will understand, you know, I'm just, some people, they're really firm on this shit, I won't lie. And I get it. The game's been seen this way pretty much since 2016. I remember when Gregan made that video. You know, I don't even think most of you know what fucking video I'm talking about. But holy shit, dude. Yo, Beast Mode's in his fucking bag in this game. Like, it doesn't go in, but he's been clanging those. Holy shit. I love that. Hell yeah. Nah, dude, Beast Mode, man, this is one of my favorite teams. NRG, I love this team. I love this roster. I also like Falcons, truly. Falcons is another favorite roster of mine. Like, this is like a dream game, truly. Like, there's so much to get out of this game for you guys. Just these teams in general. Oh, look at the fucking air roll. Oh, it's so clean. This is how air roll should look. Look at this. Right here, does a little bit of adjustment to get that first touch. Immediately does this air roll, which is justified. Goes straight out here. He wants to get a pop-up and try to get it higher. I mean, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Some people, they're just air rolling that whole fucking time. Like, you look stupid. You probably didn't even execute most of that if you were doing that. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at the fucking air roll. It's beautiful. Look at it. This is so clean, so efficient. So, like, look at that. Oh, my God. Stop it, Beast Mode. Oh, stop it. All right, let's get in there. A pretty good 50. I like that kickoff. Nice. I like Daniel's challenge here. Really good challenge. Atomic probably going to be leaving here. Oh, okay. TRK ended up actually missing the ball, so that enables Atomic to be able to do something here. I like the spacing Beast Mode is playing. Yeah, I like that. That was nice. That was a good read. Probably go for your immediate demo here. Yeah, he ends up disengaging off the demo, which is something I talked about earlier. Like, being quicker to disengage will make you a quicker player. Beast Mode knows in this situation, from this moment, he's not getting shit here. So he's not like chasing TRK, he's just getting the fuck out, which enables his teammates to be able to, and it enables him to be able to have these options right now, which is really good. Yeah, TRK's not doing much. Looks like a comm came out there from Daniel. Because usually Beast Mode would have priority in a challenge like that, so the fact that he didn't go, that was really good by Rawas. Like, I definitely need to call that out. In this situation, once again, look at this arrow. It's so fucking clean. It's so clean. So immediately, let's talk about it. In this situation, jumps up like this. This is justified. Doesn't need any more. Can do all of his touches. Immediately does another one down, which is fine, right? And it's just immediate pop, which is great. Beast Mode definitely didn't expect that. It seems like beast mode knew that something similar could have happened. Ooh, a really good attempt of a check. I wish it was more firm. It doesn't look like we're using 10 swivel. No, it looks like more like 6 or 7. Ah, shit. God damn it. I didn't even mean it like that. Not gonna lie. I actually don't even like that meme. I think it's one of the stupidest things that maybe I'm getting old. Anyway, nice, proper. I love that. All of that, really good play. No qualms with that. Yeah, no, these guys. So yeah, looks like NRG is really trying to just play time here, play a lot of pacing. Atomic wasn't even going for that. They just want to play time. They want to keep turns, play time, keep as much boost as possible, right? So even here, you can see we're backing off. We're only going when we can. Very clear opportunity there, and Atomic. It looks like that was an intentional fake to put it down. Let's see. Oh yeah, Atomic didn't give a fuck about going for that. Bro could care less if he hit that or not. But anyways, yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys always coming out, supporting my channel. I'm beyond grateful to have such a good community. Like, you guys are really nice. Subscribe if you would like the video. Please leave me a comment though. I do like reading comments, so definitely do that. I'll take a card hit for you guys. 7:20 in the morning. Hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are. I know I have a pretty wide audience, actually. And let me take a card hit. Ooh, beautiful. All right, cool. I'll see y'all in the next one.